Imagine waking up one day and half of your city is gone, not moved away, gone. That's not a horror movie, that's just Tuesday for a lot of human history. Today, we're going to talk about the deadliest plagues and pandemics ever recorded, what caused them, how many people they killed, and how the world clawed its way back afterward. Some of these you've heard of, some might surprise you. Let's get into it. Let's start way back in the 6th century, in the Byzantine Empire. The Plague of Justinian hit in the year 541 AD. It was caused by the same bacteria behind the Black Death. Later on, a bug called Yersinia pestis, spread mainly by fleas on rats. It's named after Emperor Justinian, who was ruling at the time, and who caught the plague himself, though he survived. At its peak, it said the plague killed up to 5,000 people a day in Constantinople alone. Bodies piled up faster than anyone could bury them. Historians estimate this pandemic killed between 25 and 50 million people over about 2 centuries. That could have been close to half the world's population at the time. It weakened the empire so badly that some historians think it changed the course of European history entirely. The Columbian exchange, smallpox outbreaks during 1500s. This one isn't a single event, it's a wave of devastation that unfolded over decades. When European explorers arrived in the Americas, starting in the late 1400s and 1500s, they brought diseases the local populations had never been exposed to before, smallpox being the biggest killer. Indigenous peoples in the Americas had no immunity at all. Entire civilizations, the Aztec and Inca empires among them, were devastated, with smallpox spreading even faster than the explorers themselves in many regions. Estimates vary widely, but some historians believe up to 90% of the indigenous population of the Americas died in the century or two following European contact, a number that could be in the tens of millions. It's considered one of the largest demographic collapses in human history. The third plague pandemic in 1855, yes, plague again. This time starting in China's Yunnan province in 1855 and spreading globally through shipping routes for the next century. Thanks to steamships, this plague reached every inhabited continent, including major outbreaks in India and China. Total deaths are estimated at around 12 million people, with India hit especially hard. But here's the upside. This pandemic is actually what led scientists to finally identify the bacteria causing plague and figure out that fleas on rats were the culprit. That discovery helped us fight future outbreaks. The Spanish flu in 1918. Now we jump to 1918, right at the tail end of World War I. The Spanish flu wasn't actually from Spain. That name stuck because Spain, being neutral in the war, was one of the few countries whose press freely reported on it, while other nations censored the news to keep morale up. This flu strain was unusually deadly, and strangely, it hit young, healthy adults hardest, not just the elderly like most flu strains. It infected an estimated 500 million people, about a third of the world's population at the time, and killed somewhere between 50 and 100 million people in just about 2 years. That's more deaths than World War I itself. It spread through crowded troop ships, army camps, and cities, with almost no modern medicine to fight it. HIV/AIDS, 1981 to present. Not every pandemic on this list is ancient history. HIV/AIDS is still an ongoing global health issue today. First identified in the early 1980s, HIV attacks the immune system and, if untreated, can develop into AIDS, leaving the body unable to fight off infections. Since it emerged, HIV/AIDS has killed an estimated 40 million people worldwide, with millions more currently living with the virus. The good news? Modern antiretroviral treatments have transformed HIV from a near-certain death sentence into a manageable chronic condition for people who have access to care, though access is still very unequal around the world. COVID-19, 2019 to present. And of course, the one most of us lived through ourselves, COVID-19. First identified in late 2019, this coronavirus spread to nearly every country on Earth within months, triggering lockdowns, travel bans, and a race for vaccines unlike anything seen before. Official counts put global deaths at around 7 million, but many health researchers believe the true number, including undiagnosed and indirect deaths, is likely closer to 15 to 20 million. What made COVID different from most pandemics on this list was speed. Scientists developed effective vaccines in under a year, something that used to take a decade or more. That fast response almost certainly saved millions of lives. Looking back at all of this, one thing stands out. Humanity keeps getting hit hard and keeps finding a way to recover. Each of these pandemics reshaped the world in some way. They changed economies, toppled empires, and pushed forward medical breakthroughs that protect us today. The scary part is, experts agree it's not a matter of if another major pandemic happens, it's when. But the encouraging part is that every time, we've learned a little more about how to fight back. If you learned something today, hit subscribe for more deep dives into the events that shaped human history. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.